Happy Monday, beautiful people. It has been forever, very long time since I posted a video. I usually have music in the background, usually on a totally different vibe, but I just needed to post this in order to give some clarity and to put something out there that's been weighing heavy on my heart. So I usually don't read from anything, but in order for me to keep this as professional as possible, I decided to type it up so that I'm reading it and not coming from a place of total emotion, but more so truth and fact than anything, because that's what's important. That's what matters right now. So I reached a point where I could no longer be a part of practices that didn't align with my professional values and morals. So with that being said, that's not something that I say lightly. And I just recently made the decision to transition out of leadership based on things, as far as my role in the early childhood education field. While the public message around my departure was positive, my personal experience of that transition held more depth, reflection, and truth than what could ever be summarized in a few lines. And I'm okay with that, because this isn't about correcting a narrative. It's about answering a calling. And because this moment isn't about correcting a narrative, I just want to state that for over 30 years, I've worked in early childhood education, and I have supported children, families, and educators across many different environments. And through all of that, I have learned something that continues to echo louder with time. What holds a school together is not just curriculum. What holds a school together is not just policy, and it's not even compliance. It's the people. It's how we care for them. It's how we listen to them. It's how we lead them. And in my most recent role, I gave my full presence to that, to the best way that I was allowed to and able to. I showed up for staff. I showed up for children. I worked to create an environment where people felt supported, seen, and steady in the work they were doing. And in doing so, I also became more aware of the gaps that still exist. Gaps in how we support our educators emotionally, gaps in how we balance operations with humanity, gaps in how we receive concerns and how they're handled. And there were moments that didn't align with my standards, moments that personally made me pause. For example, there was a time when a comment was made about the way that I smelled in reference to voodoo. I wear frankincense, I wear patchouli, and it never sat right with me. It was a while ago, but some people just are ignorant and unaware and just rude and not so nice. So I said, what is that supposed to mean? Oh, just like incense. Okay, you got it. Anyway, it never sat right with me, and it raised my concerns around cultural awareness and respect in the workplace in general. There was also a situation where a teacher reported being spit on by a child. And when I raised it, the response I received focused on the type of spit rather than the impact of the situation. That moment made me pause and reflect on how certain concerns were being prioritized and addressed. And these aren't isolated thoughts, they're reflections, okay? Reflections that led me to a decision, not out of frustration, but out of alignment. And I chose to step away, not to disconnect from the field, but to serve it differently, to serve it fully. Because what I experienced confirmed something that I've known for a long time. And for the most part, it's that our field needs more policies. It needs more than policies, I apologize. It needs presence, it needs leadership that understands the emotional, physical, and human realities of this work. And it needs systems that protect not just compliance, but people. And that's where Cradle Vanguard was born. Cradle Vanguard is not just a name, it's a commitment. a commitment to raising the standard of care, not just for the children, but for every adult responsible for shaping their world. It's about leadership that understands presence. It's about systems that support people and not just processes, and environments where safety, dignity, and humanity are not optional. They're foundational. This is bigger than one place, and it's bigger than one experience. And it's about creating something that prevents what so many have quietly carried for far too long. And to the educators that show up every day and give more than what is asked, to the other ones who feel unseen, unheard, or stretched beyond what's sustainable, I see you. And I'm building for you. This is not an ending. It's a beginning. And I'm ready. So I can't wait to share more with you guys. I'm very, very thankful that I'm able to get back on here and start posting about what matters, and just being able to zone back in on helping others and serving others and speaking. Anyway, you guys have an awesome day, and just keep each other prayed up. It's not always the other person's fault that they're the way they are. Love y'all. Peace.